With the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, and just to remind everybody, we are observing the social distancing guidelines, so some of y'all may need to move apart a little bit.
You what?
Thank you. All right, we'll go down to item number 8, which is a public hearing to revise the plat of lots 33, 35, and 36 of Chula Vista Ranch in Precinct 2. At this time, I'm going to open the public hearing. If there's anybody here that wants to speak in favor of or in opposition to the application to revise that plat of those 3 lots, if you would identify yourself for our recording, and also if you would keep your comments to no more than about 3 minutes, we would appreciate that. Anyone here to speak to that particular application? If not, I'm going to close the public hearing, and we'll move to item number 9, to consider approval of the application to revise the plat of lots 33, 35, and 36 of Chula Vista Ranch in Precinct 2.
I think everything's in order, and I think we're ready to move forward, and I move that we approve the replat of Chula Vista, lots 33, 35, and 36.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? And so have they provided the tax statements and the disk or flash drive also?
Yes, sir, I think we have everything.
Okay.
Marilyn has everything in her possession.
All right. Any other questions or discussion on it? All in favor of approving that application to revise the plat of those 3 lots in Chula Vista Ranch, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Number 10 is to consider setting a public hearing to revise the plat of lots 423, 424, and 425 of Boot Ranch subdivision phase 1.
Yeah, that's in my precinct, Judge. There's an owner out there that owns all 3 lots, 423, 424, and 425, and he wants to combine those into 2. The interior lot lines obviously change, so I don't believe we have to do the letters out to the public. I think we just have to set a public hearing for that transaction to take place, and that's what we're here for today.
Okay, and the earliest that we could have that public hearing would be at our first meeting in July, which would be July 13th. And that means that we would have to advertise June 17th, 24th, and July 1st.
I'm assuming that's possible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I would make a motion that we set a public hearing for July 13th at 9 a.m. for lots 423, 424, 425 for Boot Ranch subdivision phase 1.
Second.
Second.
Questions or discussion? All in favor of setting that public hearing on July 13th at 9 a.m., say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Number 11, to consider approval of preliminary plat for Boot Ranch subdivision phase 2.3.
Yeah, Judge, 2.3, as you might remember, they have decided to split phase 2 into different sections or different phases, and this phase here involves 9 different lots. The phase 2.3 And we have the preliminary, there's a copy up here, one here, one here. And, I think Wayne has reviewed those, I think everything seems to be in order. And,
Everything except for the center line radiuses.
the who?
The center line radius, we have a 200-foot minimum center line radius. And if you go less than 200, they require 30-foot pavement width. Compensate for that. Normally we've done that before, house. Because of the way the goes, and access to the subdivision. And we really might buy that, putting that, because they have two-way in and two-way out traffic. But in this case, normally what you're looking at is a 90-degree turn instead of a section of roadway that's probably less than 200-foot radius. And this one, they use it just a large upgrade on the track. And so we would request variance from the adding that additional pavement width. There's a slopes, legal, then good range.
So we have to add that variance, that we can add that variance today, it's not on the agenda. I suppose we can probably approve this preliminary plat, and that change needs to be made then before the.
We could either approve that variance request, if we approve it at the time of the approval of the final plat or prior to it.
Right. We can't do that today, it's not on the agenda. I think what I propose then, Judge, is to approve this plat and then make those changes before the final plat is done. Will that work?
Yeah,
So we need to do that, make the change. But we're gonna propose to approve this plat and make those changes before the next final plat is done.
Will that be including a variance?
Yes.
For that pavement, or would that be?
You'd have to include the
there'll have to
variance.
be a request for that.
Request for a
variance.
variance.
I understand that.
So I think that will work. So, I would make a motion that we, approve the application to revise, for phase 2.3, excuse me. I move to approve the preliminary plat for Boot Ranch subdivision phase 2.3.
Second.
Finally got it out, Judge.
Any questions or discussion? All in favor of approval, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. 12, to report on the progress of completion of the required cybersecurity training by county employees and authorization for submission of the cybersecurity training certification for local governments to the Texas Department of Information Resources. Dana.
This is a form that I submitted online, just saying that, one, I'm authorized by you to submit the form, and that I say everybody's done, which everybody is. And then as far as new hires, I just have them do it immediately, and so they're done pretty quickly, and then we'll start all over. I'm not exactly sure when we can start over.
I'm sure we'll get some kind of a notice again, but
But right
that's-
now, it's due as of the 15th, and I have to submit this form online, so I'd like to do that soon.
well, thank you for your work in keeping up with that and for continuing to contact those people that needed to get it done. I'm glad that we had a little bit of breathing room before the deadline, so thank you for your work in that.
And then I'm assuming when we're hiring new folks, you have them do it then, or rather really quickly?
Pretty quickly. Yes, most people, when they're just starting, they have more time, so like, again, I have to do it pretty quickly.
But you'll make sure they take it.
Yes, all of the new people, they already done as well, so.
Thanks.
So we just need to, I guess, make a motion to authorize Dana to submit that certification to the Department of Information Resources.
So move.
Second.
Questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? 13, let's see, is Dwayne, yeah, Dwayne's here. To consider approval of variance from the 75-foot septic setback requested by Teresa and David Schmidt.
I've been here since we've been to COVID. Do you come up or we speak from our seat?
You, Wade,
Can you guys hear me from there? Can y'all hear me?
if you speak up.
Okay, louder? The David Schmidt is at the requested variance request from the 75-foot property line setback to the adjoining landowner, Billy Rader. Billy and David Schmidt have signed the affidavit to allow that encroachment, so I recommend the court go ahead and grant that variance. It's off of White Oak Road on the north end of Terra Linda's entrance right there. I don't know if you guys need any more information on that. I did visit with Commissioner Cromer on it earlier.
I move we approve.
Second.
Questions or discussion? All in favor of approving that variance request, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And 14, to consider approval of variance from the 75-foot septic setback requested by Richard and Janice Fackler.
There's some fractures on property U address off Tiger Road, that's in 2093, out in the Morris Ranch area. They own 3 lots out there, 19, 19A, and 20. They have their house on lot 19, and they have built a little guest house on 19 where another wastewater system is needed. Because of the slope and the topography there for a aerobic spray irrigation system is what they've chosen to go with. They're gonna have to encroach to find an area that's suitable on their track 19A. And so we've got a variance request. They themselves, since they own those lots, have signed the affidavit themselves, so they're allowing for the encroachment on property that they own. I recommend that the Commission Court grant that variance also.
I move we approve.
Second.
Questions or discussion? All in favor of approving that variance request, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you, Dwayne. 15, to consider approval of purchase of grout concrete for Old San Antonio Road in Precinct 3.
Yes, sir. I need to approve, or I'll make a motion to purchase 25 yards, approximately a 6-sack concrete to repair the damage on the east side of Old San Antonio Road. And I plan to take that out of my concrete budget, and it's approximately $3,000.
Motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Any questions? All in favor of approval of that purchase, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, 16, to consider approval of hiring Assistant Veteran Service Officer for the Veteran Service Office.
Her name is Kristen, Arisen, Arrington, Errington. Her rate is $17.10. And should we start the 22nd of June?
I move we approve.
Second.
Maybe you'll have AC by then.
Any questions or discussion? All in favor of approval, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, 17, to consider hiring temporary personnel in the elections office.
Yes, we have 3 temporary folks. We have Callie Carter, Patricia Hamilton, and start date is effective
Can't hear.
today.
We can't hear.
Okay.
Come up.
Premium hires, contemporary folks. For the primary runoff, Kelly Carter, Patricia Hamilton, Eliana Ivers. Their pay will be $10.97. Their effective hire date is today.
What was the third one?
Eliana Ivers,
How do you spell that?
Elianna, and then Ivers, Ivers.
What was the rate? 10 what?
$10.97.
Effective today?
Yeah, effective today, because we're gonna have some training before we actually start the.
So move for approval.
Second.
Questions or discussion? In favor of approval, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, let's see, you have some other ones somewhere here. While you're up there. Let's go to number 27. To consider purchase of Tenesco card files and media storage cabinet.
We are getting a lot of people registered, more and more, and we need one more of these cabinets to hold our voter registration records. We're squeezing them in right now, and it's real interesting when we try to file something away or get something out. We do have money in the budget. I have a quote from Office Depot, including shipping. It should be no more than $13.50. Might actually come in a little under that.
I'll move we approve the purchase of the filing cabinet for $13.50, not to exceed $13.50.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, 28, to receive certification from the voter registrar concerning the number of qualified voters that signed a petition for local option election to legalize the sale of all alcoholic beverages, including mixed beverages, in Justice of the Peace Precinct 2.
We had an application for a local option petition election. It was for the legal sale of all alcoholic beverages, including mixed beverages, specifically in the JP2 area. More specifically in the old JP6, but all of the JP2 voters get to vote on it, which is precincts 2, 5, 10, and 15. We received a valid application on February 27th and issued the petitions on February 28th. They had 60 days to get this returned to us. They did return it on April 27th. Out of 1588 signatures, we verified every single one, and out of that, we had 1087 that were valid, and they only needed 1065 to get this measure on the ballot. So they have met every requirement, and this is the petition, if anyone would like to see it.
I move we approve.
Second.
Okay. Any questions? All in favor of approving that certification, say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, and then 29, to consider approval of order of special election to legalize the sale of all alcoholic beverages, including mixed beverages, in Justice of the Peace Precinct Number 2, to be held on November 3rd, 2020.
So now that they have met the requirement of getting all the valid signatures, the next step is to have the Commissioners Court order this special election, and the next available date is the November 3rd election. It cannot be on the July 14th primary because people are on that election. So the next valid one is November 3rd. That's the next occurring one. So the paperwork, the order is for the November 3rd election.
I move we approve.
Second.
Questions or discussion? All in favor of approving the order of the special election for November 3rd, 2020, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And Anissa, on the order and that notice that you had sent, I think we need to make just a couple of minor changes, but as you know, it has to be very specific, and there's a couple of places on each of those documents where it says for or against a measure to legalize the sale, and I think it has to say to legalize the legal sale. So we need to insert that. And I think 2 places on each one of the order and the notice. But I've got those marked if you need to see that. 30, to consider approval of request to place temporary election signs for July 14, 2020 primary runoff election at the early voting location and at the Republican voting precinct 1 and 3 on election day.
Yes, sir. This goes to our ordinance. I need approval to put out any signs, so we will be putting our sandwich signs out on the corner, in the driveway, leading into the buildings, because we are going to be suggesting people enter through the Suite D door this time for COVID standards. We're going to be doing a little more social distancing, so we're going to have a lot more signage out. Plus on election day, precinct 1 and 3 are county facilities, so we would like permission to place out our 100-foot, all of our normal election day signs.
I'll move we approve.
Second.
Questions? All in favor of approval, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you, Anissa. Going back to number 18, to consider approval of purchase of toner cartridges in the county judge's office. Pansy had to order cartridges for that color printer in the office. Get that 4-pack, it's $551.58, so we needed to put it on the agenda.
I'll move we approve.
Second.
Questions or discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? 19, to consider approval of pavement project on the north T-hanger apron. Tony? Morning.
There's a picture on the back of the quote to show the area that we're talking about. This area has not been addressed in over 5 years. With our pavement management plan, we have to do a crack seal every 2 to 5 years. So that's one of our requirements to address. Additionally, the area around the Fritz T hangar is the #1 priority for the advisory board to get that addressed this year. So what we're looking at is getting a crack seal over the whole north T-hanger apron and then a slurry around the Fritz hangar. If you can see the pictures there, that shows you where those actions will be taking place. In the quote, there might be some confusion on there. I did ask when they came out to give the quote to give me a quote for the other aprons, but they have been addressed in the last 2 years. I just wanted to see how much it would cost to get the whole package done. So it was a little more than I'm willing to spend or wanting to address at this time. So I'm just addressing the T-hanger, which comes out to about $29,998. This is a ramp project, and the advisory board unanimously recommended approval.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or discussion? So which of these does that entail the
Add-on-
first
add-on
three?
two does not count.
Okay, so just the first three?
Right.
All right. Any other questions or discussion? All in favor of approving that project, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And 22, consider approval of change in phone service at the airport.
Currently, we have four phone lines out in the airport, and in 2007, when Verizon, I think, broke up and Frontier moved in, Frontier took the local service, and then Verizon kept the long-distance service. And in coordination with John Keller, we've looked at other options. Frontier has an option to go $39.99 per line, which will give us long distance, unlimited long distance and local phone for that. Currently, Verizon charges by the minute, so we have a range of basically $20 all the way up to $100. We only have two lines that use long distance. One is the office line that I use, and then the other one is our ground communication outlet. It has two long distance numbers that it calls from airplanes that connect to it. And sometimes they leave the phone line open and we get a large phone bill that month. So with this service, we could save up to basically $50 a month by changing just to do for Frontier for the four phone lines. This would also give me caller ID, call waiting out on the office line, which right now I do not. I just have a basic party line, or a basic line that just has local. So if anybody tries to contact me while I'm on the phone, it just doesn't busy. There's no call waiting, there's no voicemail, there's no caller ID.
Any installation costs?
I think it works out because we already have Frontier. It's just adding basically $1 a line for our current bill.
I move we approve.
Second.
Questions or discussion on it?
Is this going to affect anything with the computers? Or using the internet or anything like that?
No, I have Spectrum as the internet out at the airport. Thank you.
Any other questions? All in favor of approving that change in the phone service, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And 21, to consider approval of submission of request to TxDOT Aviation for the fiscal year 2020 CARES Act financial relief funding and authorization for execution of documents.
So within the CARES Act, there's two funds for the airports, the general aviation airports in Texas. Group 1 funds, which really I'll just mention that in passing because I'm not here really to discuss that. But Group 1 funds are for airports that have a approved capital improvement project for FY 2020. And what that actually implies, or what it entails, is that they're going to basically cover it at 100% versus the 90-10 money that is usually in what we budgeted. So we budgeted $222,000 for our sponsor share for our project this year. They will automatically submit our project in to get that $222,000 refunded back to the county. We don't do anything or anything like that, but that's within that CARES Act plan. The one that I'm here to talk about is the Group 4 funds, which basically the FAA has come out and looked at every airport in the United States, and they've designated how much money that they want, that they allow to give to airports for the CARES Act, for the relief funds. Our airport qualifies for $69,000 for our size of our airport. And the only thing we have to do is submit a form requesting the funds. These funds can be used for, basically it says for any lawful purchase for the airport. So it could be used as our sponsor share for a capital improvement. It could be used as, to cover our ramp co-shares, the 50-50 money. It could be for a total project. It could be buying a tractor, a utility vehicle, a tug. It can be used for anything that is basically purchased for the airport. It'll be that fund will be similar to the ramp. It'll be in our e-grant systems, and we'll just submit the receipts into that to use that money. And what I'm requesting is that to be designated as the duly designated agent for this fund, so I can submit the request.
I'll move we approve.
Second.
Questions or discussion? When do they anticipate that those funds would be released? Still in this budget year or next?
They would not give that date to me, and that's why I was asking you if we could spend it this year if we get it. But it's basically, they're learning as we go. They just had a meeting, a telecon last week, where we just got the basic details of the program. So there's still a lot that they're learning and coming up, developing new processes with, because this is something they don't know anything about. So I assume as soon they were adamant in the telecon that they want us to start spending this money.
Well, as soon as they send it to us, we can do that.
My plan would be to submit a project list to the Airport Advisory Board to get their racked and stacked, and then we'll present it to Commissioner's Court. Like we do.
Other questions? Not all in favor of approval, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Right. Thank you, Tony.
Thank you.
22, to consider approval of hiring jailers in the sheriff's office.
Yes, I have a jailer position that I'm filling. Nicholas Riley, who has experience, will be coming to us at $18.66 an hour.
Effective date?
Within the next 2 weeks.
R-I-L-E-Y, or
R-I-L-E-Y.
not O'Reilly, like O'Reilly Auto?
No.
I'll move we approve.
Second.
Questions? All in favor of approval, say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, 23, to consider approval of purchase of Planet scheduling software.
Yes, this is a scheduling process that my patrol lieutenant uses out there. The jail is also going to be utilizing it, which will help with keeping track of all the schedules, and it also has some other windows and things that we can use within there to help, possibly even with payroll. It's a very extensive process. There are a lot of people that we keep track of, and with notifications to this scheduling system, we'll know exactly when they are and when they are not on duty. Currently, right now, it's kind of done in a paper form, and unfortunately, it gets changed sometimes daily. And so we're advancing into this new Planet scheduling. It's a software solutions that we're getting for the first year will be $2,075, and I do have sufficient funds within my budget to cover this. And the subscription rate proposed for the next 2 years drops down to $1,037 if we do not change the number of employees that will currently be using that.
So we're approving the current 2,075, I still move.
2,075.
2,075.
First year, yeah, for the
Correct. That's my motion.
for constructing it.
Second.
Any questions or discussion on it? All in favor of approval, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, and 24, to consider approval of transferring of a jailer to patrol deputy.
Yes, I've had a jailer, a certified peace officer that's been working in the jail here for quite a while with us, and I'm transferring him out of the jail onto patrol to fill one of our vacant positions within patrol. Kevin Kalbacher, who has years of experience, will be coming to us. He's already with us at $25.91 per hour.
What was the last name, Sheriff?
Kalbacher. Kalbacher.
move we approve.
Second.
Questions? All in favor of approval, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, Sheriff. 25, to consider purchase of mobile data docks for the sheriff's office vehicles. Morning, John.
Morning.
Morning, gentlemen. I'm asking permission to purchase an additional dock, to put in patrol cars for the laptops we use as a mobile data terminal. I know we had purchased some recently, had purchased some, but we've had another one go out. So we're at the point we need another one. And with shipping charges, it's gonna bring it up to about $900.
How much?
$900.
$100.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor of purchasing that mobile data dock, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? How many of those old ones we still got?
Old ones that would try to get repaired, probably 5. But I still can't get the turnaround going on the repairs. Figure get them repaired, then we won't have to buy anymore. But situation still hasn't stabilized.
Thank you.
All right, thank you all.
26, to consider approval of purchase of library patron cards and key tags and authorize line item transfers to cover the cost of the cards. Larry, are you doing that?
Yeah, I guess so. The library wants to purchase 2,500 combo patron cards and key tags. The total cost is $1,632.50. Plus $75 shipping. They didn't really budget this, but they want to move some money around to cover it. They said they're almost out of patron cards, so they will use office supply money and another category to cover it. They realize they run out, so.
I also move.
Second.
Questions? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. 31, to consider purchase of culverts for Cott Road in Precinct 3.
Yes, sir. I've had, again, some more erosion damage on Cott Road. I have it set up in my budget. I need to purchase 2 24-inch by 24-foot culverts. Pull it out of my supplies. It's a cost of $1,011.20. And that's my
Got a
motion.
motion?
Second.
Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, 32, to consider approval of annual renewal of property and casualty insurance for the county. Larry, you want to talk to us about that?
We got the proposal to renew our property and casualty insurance. The premium is an increase of 16.4%. And the reason for that, the main reason for that increase are the vehicle accidents that we had this last year. There were 3 that totaled more than $10,000 each. So, and there's some liability related to one of them that's still not closed yet. They're still trying to close that one. We also had the flood in the Ag Extension building that cost quite a bit of
really don't have, I increased the budget last year, anticipating an increase, but not this big. So, the insurance for retirement contribution for medical is in this fund, or in this 681 department, and it looks like that's going to be about 6,000 less than we budgeted, so I can use some of that money. That leaves an additional 4,800 that we'll need to find somewhere, and I guess we can move it out of contingency if we need to. But those accidents, those automobile accidents, really, you see there that that increased almost $20,000 right there.
The other two buildings on, that when it, upon completion, or
We can get the
see them?
notice of occupancy, that's when we have.
Until they're in the, they're covered by the,
Right now, we're covered by the contractors. Until we take over. And the insurance company's well aware of these buildings. It'll be next Friday.
unfortunately, I don't see any way around it, so I'll move we approve.
Second.
Questions or discussion?
It's a big increase. It is what it is.
Yeah. All in favor of approving that annual renewal for the property and casualty insurance, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you, Larry. 33, to consider approval for driver's license office to hang a banner outside Annex 1. I don't think there's anybody here. The lady, I think Ms. Beard, had contacted Pansy to, you know, once they reopen, they're still going to do it just by appointment only. And so I think he's got pictures of what some of the signage is that they've got currently. We didn't want them to put something like what's on this first picture, to drill holes in the bricks or anything like that on the building. So they were proposing to put it, first of all, their first choice would be up there on the door. And they said they could attach it with like command strips or something. If we didn't like that, the second choice was going to be there under the address to the right of the door. Or the third choice would be there on the handrail on that handicap ramp. They're just wanting some kind of signage to tell people who to call or what website to go to make an appointment, to let people know that their office is only by appointment only, so.
Have they opened already, or?
I don't know. I've seen a young man out here doing something with the driving test, so I'm assuming that they have.
Yes, they have.
I'm a little concerned about with their first choicer in the window. I mean, that's right eye level, obstructing the vision of people coming and going.
Yeah, I wasn't crazy about that either, but
you gotta put it somewhere where people will see it.
yeah.
I think if you put it on that rail, people are not gonna see it down there. I don't.
Well, especially if they're coming from this other side over here. They're probably
They won't see it at all.
Yeah.
So that number 2, is it said it's attached to the building?
Yeah, let me see if she said, yeah, she says, they would need to figure out how to affix it to the wall. They haven't figured that out yet. I don't know that we necessarily want them drilling into the wall.
Wouldn't think so.
Is this a temporary or permanent? Or permanently temporary?
Who knows, for the foreseeable future, I think this is how they plan to do it, but I don't know how long that might be in effect.
Maybe a while.
Yeah, it may be.
I mean, I think my choice would be number 2, if they could figure out a way to fix it without
Without
damaging.
drilling into the building. Yeah,
How will that happen?
I don't know. I don't know how how are those, well, I don't know how you could hang them from those numbers anyway. I'm not sure how they would attach that.
You're gonna have to make a hole in the building.
Is there any other place that y'all can see that we
It's a
would
vinyl
prefer?
sign?
Pardon?
It's a vinyl sign? Looks
I
like.
don't know. Let me see if she says. I don't see that she says in her email.
I don't guess it can be a temporary sign with a weight on the bottom that can move it in and out.
Like
Freestanding sign?
freestanding.
That would actually be nice. It'd be a little bit of a headache to move it in and out every day, but
Yeah.
a freestanding sign.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be good. I don't know if they're there every day. And we can tell them we prefer number 2, but no drilling into the building, or they could get a freestanding sign. See. Just put it right there, kind of where that number 2 would be, off to the right.
Freestanding probably blow away in high wind. It'll be in the flower, in the
Well, it might.
flowers. I think whatever we do, I think what I have John Sandstead, be with them when they try to do this.
Yeah,
And make sure that, I think freestanding sounds good, but is it gonna stay there?
yeah.
Could try it and see if it works. But if it wouldn't be that big, I wouldn't have any issue with it being on the door, but it's a pretty big sign.
I think they said it's 2 by 3. Yeah, 2 foot by 3 foot, is what she says.
I think if once you have it, and you go out there and you look, maybe that would ever work there. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell off from a picture.
Yeah, it is.
Well, having John there would be a good idea.
Yeah, and he may have some ideas.
Yeah, once they have it and get down there, I mean, it's kind of hard to, I think it's hard for us to kind of figure out now what's the best, where's the best way to put it. That they may have some other options once they get it here and hey, get a look at it.
Yeah. So,
I would say we can generally just approve the sign to be there, you know, with the stipulation that we'll have our facilities maintenance manager determine what the best spot might be.
At location 2,
Location, yeah.
at the location number 2.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if it's not that obtrusive on the door, I don't have any issue. You know, if it's 2 by 3, I mean, I don't know, it's probably too big, I don't know.
Or take the whole door out.
I think we need to allow some flexibility is what I'm saying, I think, for this to take
Well,
place.
it sure looks like a banner or something.
Yeah. What about, I mean, you have that little entryway in there, they could actually put that sign in there. It wouldn't be visible from the street, but they would be in that,
I think they're trying to minimize the traffic inside the building though. You know, people just walking in and have to walk in to read the sign,
yeah.
and then to walk back out.
I think it would cover a good bit of that glass on the door.
It probably would. Does it have to be that big?
I don't know.
Well, it's a banner, you could cut it back a little bit, put some rivets in it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if it was smaller, it could go on the door, but maybe we just need to get John to look at it.
That's what I'm thinking. I think we can certainly approve the banner or the sign, but it's, you know, does it have to be that big? Does it not? Can it be somewhere else? If it's smaller, can it be put on the door? You know, if it has to be that big, it needs to be around, you know, option number 2.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of variables there, I think, that we need to let them figure out.
Just on the door thing, that would bother me to obstruct the vision of people coming and going at the same time.
Yeah.
I like number 2 location. Let John decide, make it look nice.
So do we need a motion?
Some kind of motion.
All right, I make a motion, we approve the driver's license officers to hang a sign around location number 2 with the supervision of John Sandstead.
Second.
Any questions or discussion? In favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
Just one of the insurance, I'd like to point out that included in the premium, and that included turrets, protection for premiums, which we've always declined because it's international areas and not domestic. So that's like $3,273 that comes off
Thank you. All right, I guess we're ready to pay some bills. Have a good day,
See
Mackenzie.
ya.
I move we approve our bills and claims and payments via electronic fund transfers.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Journal entries and budget amendments.
The first journal entry is 20.15, and it's reclassifying the U.S. Corrections inmate transport from the sheriff's office to the jail. The second is journal entry T257, and it is a cash allocation to fund fiscal year 1920 budgets for precincts 1 and 2. Budget Amendment 2007 is increasing the line item for other bridge improvements, and it's decreasing the line item for asphalt for repairs on Old San Antonio Road for Precinct 3. And Budget Amendment 2008 is increasing the line item for other bridge improvements and decreasing the line item for asphalt for Bose Bridge for Precinct number 3. And none of these journal entries or budget amendments change the overall adopted budget for fiscal year 20.
All right, thank you, Marcy.
I move we approve our journal entries and budget amendments.
Second.
Any questions or discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Payroll claims and expenses.
I move we approve our payroll claims and related expenses.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Departmental reports and fees of office.
I move we approve our departmental reports and the fees of office.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Minutes.
Well, I read the minutes early this morning. Page 202, on the bottom, where we have a cost of $678.55 for 4 laptops. That equals $2,714.20 instead of the $2,714. And then for clarification on page 203, on number 15, I'm thinking that if the public would read that, you have precincts 3 and 4, would it be better we had JP precincts 3 and 4, rather, or they could assume it was Commissioner's Court or Commissioners precincts 3 or 4, or does that make any difference?
Probably, it would probably be good.
To put
It was a
JP
JP,
precincts 3 and 4. And that's all I really found. Any other corrections? Hearing none, I move that we approve the minutes with corrections.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, and with that, yes, we are adjourned.
We are adjourned.